So here we are in second lockdown. I wonder what you feel about second lockdown for you and your family and your home. And I wonder what you feel about it for your church. The church where I work at Eldwick, we were just coming out of lockdown and things were going really well. We were picking up momentum. New people were arriving. Old people were coming back. And it was a bit of a blow. In fact, it was a huge blow when we were told, lockdown again, close the church. Now, I understand that you folks at Eldwick have been comparing lockdown to the Old Testament experience of exile. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I think it fits beautifully. In fact, round about just over 500 years before Jesus, there were 3 stages of exile, each time the Babylonians coming and taking another bunch of people from Jerusalem and the surrounding towns off to the heart of their empire. So you could say that we're into the second phase of exile. Now, you would imagine that for all those Jews who were taken into exile, separated from the temple, from where they thought God was special place, that their faith would basically dry out and fade away. And for many of them, that did happen. In fact, if you read Ezekiel, who's the great prophet of the exile, it's not just the sheep who went astray, many of the shepherds too. But not for all of them. It's clear that many of them actually found a new and deeper faith while they were in exile lockdown. It was as if, having the temple taken away, they learned how to put down their own individual roots, and there was a deeper time of prayer and of learning and of emerging in that culture. When they eventually came out of exile lockdown and were allowed by the Persians to return to Jerusalem, one of the first things they wanted to do was to rebuild the temple. But they didn't have the money, the resources, the personnel to build anything like the rather grand temple that had been destroyed by the Babylonians. They built a temple which was basically half the size of that. And many of them, when they looked upon this new half-sized temple, they were really dismayed. It's nothing like the great temple we had. But during exile, they had learned to trust less in temple and more in their own personal relationships and their fellowships and their synagogue-type learnings. And in actual fact, the Israel and the people of God which reassembled around that new and smaller temple went on to achieve tremendous things for him. Now, and here's, I think, for me, the crunch point. At some stage, hopefully early next year, but maybe in spring or summer, whatever, we really are going to come out of lockdown. And I suspect that the majority of our churches, and maybe you good folks at Eldwick too, will find a reduced, smaller congregation, although you'll still have people online and that you're in contact with. And it will be easy to look back and think, oh, our congregation, our temple used to be much bigger than this. But in actual fact, the way is to look forward and to make a completely new beginning, to start a new spiritual adventure, a time of growth and depth and learning and reaching out to other people, of discovering God in new ways, and of building a whole new spiritual architecture for our future churches. So I encourage you, good friends of Eldwick, as I'm encouraging my own people at Carvley and as I'm encouraging myself, during lockdown, put down deeper roots. And then when we come out of it and we're able to mix and meet and communicate and gather and invite, make a new beginning on your new temple. And God bless you all.